Hey everyone. Have you ever wanted to talk about your future plans in Spanish, but you kind of get tangled up in all the complicated grammar? Well, you're in the right place. Because today, we're going to unlock a super simple and powerful tool that you'll be using constantly by the time we're done here.
So, let's just jump right in. How do you actually talk about tomorrow in Spanish? I mean, how do you say you're going to do something? Like, I'm going to watch a movie. It sounds like it might be tricky, right? But what if I told you there's one simple formula that handles pretty much all of it?
Yep, that's right. You can forget about memorizing tons of different verb endings for the future tense. All you really need is one simple formula. So, let's break it down, piece by piece.
Okay, so let's get into it. The simple going to formula. I want you to meet your new best friend for speaking Spanish, the ir a plus infinitive formula. Seriously, think of this as your secret weapon for talking about the near future. It's reliable, it's easy, and trust me, you're going to hear it everywhere.
So what is this thing exactly? Well, this structure is pretty much the direct Spanish version of saying, I am going to eat, or she is going to travel. It's absolutely perfect for talking about your immediate future. You know, your plans for today, tomorrow, or even next week.
And here it is, the magic formula in all its glory. First, you start with a subject. That's just who is doing the action. Then, you take the verb ir, which means to go. But, and this is key, it has to be changed or conjugated to match the subject. After that comes the little but absolutely crucial word a. And finally, you add the main action verb in its original unchanged form, what we call the infinitive. Now here's the first key piece you really got to know. The verb ir changes. You can't just say yo ir. It doesn't work that way. For I or yo, it becomes voy. For you, tú, it's vas. For he or she, él or ella, it's va. This is the only part of the phrase that actually changes, so once you get this down, you're honestly more than halfway there.
All right, theory is great and all, but let's actually get our hands dirty. It's time to build our very first sentences and put this amazing formula into action. This is where it all starts to click.
Check this out. It's as simple as following these 5 steps. It's kind of like building with Legos. First, you pick your subject. Let's go with yo for I. Next, you change ir to match it. So yo gets voy. Then you just pop in that little a. Now choose your main action verb, like estudiar, which means to study. And finally, you just add the rest of the details. It's a really logical process.
And voila, voy a estudiar español hoy. See how those 5 steps led us straight to a perfect, natural-sounding sentence? I am going to study Spanish today. You just said it. It's really that straightforward.
Let's look at a few more examples just so you can see the pattern. For you are going to travel to Mexico, it's tú vas a viajar a México. For he is going to work tomorrow, it's él va a trabajar mañana. You see how the first verb changes? Vas, va, vamos. But the second one, the action verb like viajar or trabajar, it always stays in its original form. Once that clicks, you can create endless sentences.
Okay, so we're feeling confident. Now let's make it even stronger. Every single language learner makes mistakes. That's just part of it. But the smart ones learn how to spot them ahead of time. So let's cover the 3 most common slip-ups with this formula so you can just avoid them completely. Mistake number 1, forgetting to conjugate ir. I see this one a lot. Someone learns that va is a form of ir, and then they try to use it for everything. But remember that chart we just looked at? Ir must match the subject. So saying yo va is always incorrect. It has to be yo voy.
The second pitfall is so simple, but it is so easy to miss. Forgetting the a. It might seem like just a tiny word, but in this formula, it's basically the glue that holds the whole thing together. It's not voy estudiar. It's always voy a estudiar. That little a is absolutely essential. Don't skip it.
And the third common error is getting a little, let's say, over-enthusiastic and conjugating the second verb too. Remember, the magic of this formula is its simplicity. Only ir gets changed. The main action verb that comes after it a always stays in its original ar, or ir infinitive form. So it's voy a estudiar, not voy a estudio.
All right, you've seen the formula, you've seen the examples, and you know the mistakes to avoid. So now it's your turn. Let's do a few quick exercises just to lock this into your brain. No pressure, just give it a shot. First one, how would you complete this sentence? Yo, blank, a, blank,
leer un libro. Take a second to think. What's the right form of ir for yo, and what do you do with the verb leer?
Did you get it? The answer is, yo voy a leer un libro. You conjugate ir to voy to match yo, and you leave leer just as it is. Excellent! You're totally getting this. Let's try another one. This time, I want you to translate the whole sentence from English. We are going to play soccer tomorrow. Just think back to that formula. Subject, the right form of ir, a, and the infinitive verb.
How'd you do? The answer is, nosotros vamos a jugar al fútbol mañana. We is nosotros, so the matching form of ir is vamos. Fantastic work.
Okay, one last challenge. Spot the error in this sentence. Tú vas a estudiar español. What's missing here? It's one of those common pitfalls we just talked about.
That's it. The crucial little word a was missing. The correct sentence is, tú vas a estudiar español. This just goes to show how important that tiny piece of the puzzle really is.
You now have this incredibly powerful tool at your disposal, and you do not have to wait to use it. Here are a few simple tips to start speaking about the future in Spanish, like today. First, just start narrating your own daily routine out loud. As you go about your day, just say what you're going to do next. Voy a tomar un café. Voy a trabajar. Second, use it for your actual future plans. Tell a friend, vamos a ver una película esta noche. The key is to make it practical and real. And finally, just get used to saying it. Practice with a friend or even record yourself. The more you speak, the more natural it's all going to feel.
And that brings us to the end. You now have the formula, you've gotten some practice, and you've got the tips to start talking about your plans right away. So, I'll leave you with this one question, which you are now perfectly equipped to answer. In Spanish, of course. So, ¿qué vas a hacer mañana? What are you going to do tomorrow?